In our last couple of lessons, we have been trying to trace how human civilizations evolved. We learnt about how people were initially hunter-gatherers from where they went on to forming settled communities. Now, do you think that only societies, only human lives underwent processes of change and evolution? Was the country that we live in always named the same? As in, was this country always called India? If so, from where did this term India come into being? What does this term India mean in the first place? Now, the naming of this country of India is a discussion that we will be pursuing in this lesson. The origin of the name of this country can be traced to the Indus River. Now, you must be questioning, how did we get the term or the name India from the Indus River? To understand this, we have to understand a long period of evolution of the name of the country itself. So, let us now begin this discussion and understand how the name Indus gave birth to the name of the country that we know it as today. The word Indus in Sanskrit means Sindhu. So, this river Indus is called Sindhu in Sanskrit. Around 2500 years ago, when the Iranians conquered the Indian subcontinent, they changed the name of the land. How did this happen? Because a group of conquerors who came to invade the country changed the name of the country itself. How did this happen? This must have been a long process of changing the name of the country. So, let us now find out what this Iranian invasion of India meant when it comes to understanding the change of the name of the country itself. The Iranians, when they conquered India in the 5th century, they changed the name from Sindhu to Hindus. Now, Sindhu is the Sanskrit word for the river Indus. This is a point that we have already understood. But from where did this word Hindus come? Because the Iranians did not call India as Sindhu any longer. Instead, they gave this name Hindus. How did this name came into being? Now, focus on this map. This map shows you the Persian Empire that had invaded the northwestern part of the Indian subcontinent. This is the river Indus that is known as Sindhu in Sanskrit. And this is the region that they conquered and they named as Hindus. Hindus means the land of the Hindus. Now, who were these Hindus and how did this land come to be known as the Hindus? Let us try to understand this. We have learned that the Persian Empire invaded the northwestern part of the Indian subcontinent. King Darius I's inscription mentions this land as Hindush. From where did Hindush come into being? Initially, this land was known as Sindhu, but just by mispronouncing Sindhu as Hindu, this land came to be known as Hindush. Allow me to ask you a question before proceeding with this lesson. What did the Iranians call India? Did they call India as Sindhu, Hindus, Indus or Bharat? Well, the Iranians called India as Hindus or the land of the Hindus. The Persian Empire was the first to invade India and it was followed by the Greeks. The Greek invasion of India happened under the famous Alexander the Great. Thanks to King Darius I's inscription, from this the Greeks now assigned a new name to the land they conquered. Now in Ionian Greek, the letter H is not pronounced. So can you see how the name of one land is evolving under the rule of different people? Because previously Sindhu came to be known as Hindus under the Persian Empire. And when the Greeks came to India, they now gave this land a new name. What was it? Hindus now evolved to Indus. So how did the name of the land undergo this process of evolution? Previously it was Sindhu. From here it came to be known as Hindus. Because there was a mispronunciation between A's and H. Now after the Greeks came to conquer India, they gave this land a new name and they were not able to pronounce H. So from Hindus, now this land came to be known as Indus. Can you see how fascinating this is? Because the country India got its name through a series of evolution. India did not come into being out of nowhere. It went through series and phases of evolutions. Now the name of the country India first appeared in Old English in the 9th century. So from Sindhu to Hindus and to Indus and then to the country that we know it today. So this is how India derived its name. Now India or this country is known by other names as well. Let us find out about another name that we refer to this country as and how this country got this name as well. India, as you must be knowing, is also known as Bharat. Now Article 1 of the Indian Constitution begins something like this: India, that is Bharat, and on goes the sentence. So from where do we get this term Bharat? Because we have learned how we got the name of the country India from Sindhu. But from where did Bharat come into being? Let us try to trace the origin of this name of the country as well. The origin of the name Bharat can be traced to an early Vedic tribe called the Bharatas. The Bharatas lived in the northwestern part of the subcontinent, and from the name of the Bharatas or from the name of this early Vedic tribe, this country came to be known as Bharat. In fact, mentions of Bharat can also be found in the Rig Veda, and the Rig Veda is about 3500 years old. So you can understand and infer from this that the name Bharat is not new, because mentions of this could be found in the Rig Veda, which is one of the earliest compositions in Sanskrit. So this is how the word or the name of the country Bharat now came into being. Now today Bharat signifies the entire country. Bharat stands for the country as a whole. Previously the Bharatas were an early Vedic tribe, but from that this country got its name. And by getting its name, we signify the entire country by this one word, Bharat. This now brings us to an end of our discussion on the chapter What, Where, How and When. In this chapter, we raised a whole lot of questions, and in these various lessons, we tried to find answers to these questions. What, as in what were the lives of the people in ancient times were? Where, as in where did these people live? How, as in how did human settlements, human societies come into being? And when, as in when did these people live? So these are the broad discussions that we have pursued in this series of lessons. In this series of lessons, we talked about the sources of history, which are manuscripts, inscriptions and archaeological findings. In these lessons, we also learnt about how humans previously lived as hunter-gatherers, from which, after undergoing phases and series of evolution and development, they went on to forming settlements. And these settlements in turn gave birth to huge civilizations. These civilizations took birth around the river valleys, which were fertile areas. Now, after discussing this, we also took into account how the concept or the system of dating came into being. As in, from where did this system of dating come to being? We learned how periods in history are divided into separate phases of time. From this, we also talked about two river valley civilizations that emerged in ancient India, and the civilizations that we focused on were the Indus Valley civilization on the northwestern part of the subcontinent and the Ganga civilization that emerged in the eastern part of the subcontinent. And last but not the least, we also talked about the naming of this land, as in from where India got its name, as in how India came to be known as India and Bharat. Now, if we do not study history, we will never be able to trace our steps back to our past, back to the origins of time, back to the origins of human history. And to understand history in greater clarity, it is also imperative on our part to ask the right questions. It is imperative and crucial on our part to also try to find answers to these questions. So, these lessons were devoted to asking a whole lot of questions and trying to find out very precise answers to those questions as well. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel and hit the bell icon. You can also register for free at DeltaStep.com or download the DeltaStep app to learn one-to-one with our amazing teachers, or to get access to all our 5,000 plus amazing videos as per your school syllabus. Master each topic with our adaptive practice technology. Get million plus questions with step-by-step solutions and unlimited mock tests. Get all your doubts resolved instantly. Learn via games and win amazing prizes like PlayStations and iPads. So at DeltaStep, learning is not just fun and easy, it's rewarding too. So register for free now.